there's one thing for sure. We're gonna have a lot of elderberry. Lots. So hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Woo, look at this garden. Isn't this pretty? Oh wait, let's come on down here. Give me a hug, you varmint. How you doing? Yes, I called you a varmint. You're my varmints. Y'all are my varmints and I love you. My little possums, I love you. Look at here. So we're out here real quick. Very windy. This is what the gardens are looking like. Want to update you on what's going on. Welcome back to Appalachia's Homestead. Welcome back to the channel. Let's have a fun update. So I want to start off the video like this to show you that I am absolutely sticking to my plan to give my gardens a rest this year. Yes, it's very painful. Look here, we still have, look here, beans. So this is what we're doing. A couple of you had asked me this morning, had I changed my mind about gardening, because I posted a pro tip on basically taking the suckers off of tomato plants and how you can grow more tomato plants for free. A lot of you know that. A lot of y'all been doing that for years. So that confused a couple of people, thinking that I was getting out here in the garden. No, I'm not. I'm just giving you a pro tip on something really useful to do if you are gardening and to help people out. So no, I am sticking with the plan to let this rest. And as you can see, it's very rusty and resty. So this was my large garden area. I typically do, well, I rotate. But what I have done in recent years, I've done tomatoes through here, tomatoes through there. My Missouri Wonders here on my arch, I have left that up. I've got to clean it off. And peppers and cucumbers and whatnots. We have had some Cherokee tans in here. If you come down here, don't fall. So this right here was last year was my big potato patch. Not my biggest potato patch ever, but this is where that was. So you can see it needs to be mowed again. At some point, we're gonna start putting on the compost and the manure, but I've taken down all the fencing. So throughout to this last year, we've had some very large Great Pyrenees in this area, and they really trampled down a lot of the fencing because they were puppies and they were teenagers and they were nosy. So we decided to just go ahead and take all of it down, and then we're just going to mow it and maintain it and do what we need to do with it to rest the soil and to get it ready for next year. That's what we're doing right now. So no, absolutely, I'm not doing anything in this area. It is what it is, people. Look at there, Rosie. Let's talk about these dogs. Okay, guys, I'm going to reintroduce. This is not new. This is Miss Rosie. Okay, everybody see Olive. Olive has to be the center of attention and give approval for everything that's going on. Okay, there, she got it. This is Miss Rosie, and this is Mr. Rocky Road. And I know the camera's going to move a lot. Bear with me because they're very, very excited. So this is the puppies along with their mama. I'll get to mama in a minute. She's a Chihuahua. And as you can see, these are not Chihuahuas. I rescued and took in these babies. Oh, there they go. Come here, Chula. I took in and rescued these babies. Olive, are you going to get them round up for me? Are you going to do that for me? You're just like you're the big sister on the farm. You're everybody's big sister and big mama, right? Yes. So as I was saying, these dogs haven't been featured in a lot of homesteading videos over recent years because they've been more indoor, outdoor, etc., etc. And so what I've got are 3 dogs that I basically took in. They were total strays. And when I took them to the vet several years ago, the vet was excited that I had picked them up. He said they had been thrown out into the Cherokee National Forest, most likely as coyote bait. They were just thrown out. So the mama dog, I'll show you her in just a minute. If you've been around for a long time, you're gonna be like, oh, I haven't seen them in a while. Yes, it is Chula. Chula is Fox and Cherokee. There's a story behind that. And then there are her 2 puppies, which is Rocky and Rosie. It is believed that Rocky and Rosie are basically half Chihuahua. Obviously, you'll see their mama in a minute. and that Papa was at least a pit or a pit mix. I know you're physically going, how does that happen? We question that every day of our life, but that is what we were looking at. Basically, when I got them, I almost ran over Chula, the mama, the little red, she was like a little red fox. I was headed to Murphy. I was headed to North Carolina, and when I went around a certain curve, I almost ran over her. I thought she was a little red fox in the middle of the road. When I realized she wasn't, and I was simply going to move her or figure out where does she need to go, when I started to help her, two little puppies, I'm not kidding, they were tiny. There's video, I talked about this years ago, I think it's 2018. 2018, 2019. They were just little peanuts, okay? And so I tried to find anybody to help, nobody. So I took them to the vet, and they were like, there's no chip on these dogs. By the looks, they've probably been thrown out. Because their idea was there's no physical way that this little Chihuahua has ran off with these puppies like this, because they were tiny. So they think they were just dropped off. So anyway, fast forwarding, 7 or 8 years or something like that, they are here on the farm, and we're loving them, and you can clearly see all the things I've got to work on. So let's get this straight. I don't want to confuse anybody. No, I'm not gardening this year. I might do I haven't done it yet. I may put some basil or something, or maybe some husky tomatoes into some containers. There's that. I'm resting everything. We have a ton of projects. And then I wanted you also to meet Chula, Rocky, and Rosie, so that you know you're going to see them a lot. You're going to hear them a lot, and you're going to see them a lot. But I just want to say this. When I made the video talking about the fallow, resting my land, I also wanted to make it very clear that you need to do what works best for you. And I said that on my last video. Just because I'm resting my ground, it may not be a call to action for you to do that. And I know I said that, but I want to make that clear. And I also want to make clear that the weather is not cooperating very well here in East Tennessee. And a lot of you in the South are going to completely understand. A lot of folks like to have their gardens in the ground would you stop? They like to have their gardens in the ground by Mother's Day. That's traditionally correct around here. It used to be April 15th, and then it's all kind of shifted to Mother's Day. And I'm just saying that for a lot of people that haven't put their seeds in the ground yet, it's just going to be a little bit more difficult, especially if we get really, really hot really, really quick. I know a lot of you folks out in Texas, I think yesterday, today, update me, you're already dealing with over 100 degrees in your area. We were supposed to hit around 90 tomorrow. It's gotten a little bit better. I think we're going to be about 84. That's better. It's just that you have flooding here. One of our friends has water standing in his basement right now, about 3 feet deep, right now, and is getting assistance with that. So my point was, no, I'm not going to garden this year extensively at all and let my ground rest. We are focusing in other areas that our homestead needs. But also, even if I had wanted to garden, it would probably be a really tough start for me. Not that I'm not encouraging you to try and start, but just the fact remains, a lot of people have not had the chance to get their gardens in as of today, because we have gotten so much rain, especially over the last 2 weeks. So it's very difficult for folks. And then on top of that, if you were to actually plant your garden, which I don't discourage anybody from doing. In fact, I encourage you to, if you feel like if you want to. Go out there and do what you got to do, guys. If you're not going to do it, then I've told you to go prepare in other ways. Support your Mennonites, support your local farmers, your hoop houses, the farmers market. If push comes to shove, go to these places, get their items, barter and buy, and you can still enjoy it. You can still can it. Don't stop preparing. I'm just saying it may be in a different capacity. So you do what works best for you. But like I said, if I were to start my garden, I wouldn't even be starting today. It's too wet. And the rain and hail is supposed to possibly return again tomorrow. Yay. So this is my point. You have to be able to go with the current. You have to be able to go with the tide. And if you know that something might be too difficult, Doesn't mean you shouldn't try, but maybe it's not even about that. Maybe it's just about shifting gears. We have to learn to shift gears. So you do what works best for you, your family and your farm, your homestead, whatever. But at the end of the day, regardless of what that decision is, don't stop praying, don't stop preparing, and just keep doing what God and Granny wants you to do. So I wanted to take a moment to show you this. It's been raining so much, we haven't even had a chance over the last week, because it's so heavy, to really unwrap it and move it into the barn. So I've kept it covered with its wrapping and with a tarp. So I know, just call us the ragtag homestead, honey. So anyway, we decided, we've been looking at these for about a year, actually. This is the trim, the trim chute is what typically they're called, that people use, farms, big and small, use for trimming hooves. It's also good for like vaccinations if you do that or whatever. But the main goal here is, now I obviously don't have it unwrapped, so I can't give you a full showing of it. If you watch Sandy Brock, I love Sandy Brock's channel. She didn't know me from Adam, y'all. She don't know me at all. But I love her channel. She is I believe she's in Ontario. And she has a large sheep farm. They farm they're full-time farmers up there. And I love her YouTube channel. She's so good, y'all. And this is where I actually saw this first. You actually, put the goat or the sheep will actually go into the chute. They get locked in, and then you can turn it. I know, right? You're like, what? I know. You turn it. So you can just turn it on its side, or basically you kind of flip them upside down, and then it allows you to safely trim hooves. So we made an investment into our farm. We don't go to the beach or do anything crazy. But we've been looking at this, and since we have the number of goats that we currently have, which is well over 2 times, many times over, I believe I'm around 55 right now. And we probably will grow a little bit more this year. So my point is, for 2 or 3 people to trim, when you start getting up to like 15, 20 plus goats, that can be more than a full day's work, depending on, what you do, how acclimated the goats are to that. If you have other things that you're going to be doing, this just really, 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 by all the research that I've done and all the things that I've seen, this really made a difference for a lot of these farmers. So we decided to go ahead and grab this. So I know there's some other YouTube channels that have it, that are here in the United States, and the reviews are fantastic. This is, obviously, it's made in Canada. We love you guys. Specifically, the office, though, that I dealt with, however, is in Minnesota. Okay, so if you were to call and to order, you might get directed to that office, and they were fantastic. The customer service is incredible. Check back on us, emailed us, no pressure, worked with us on everything. We got it within 5 or 6 days shipping on a pallet. Yes, it came all the way down to here. To East Tennessee. We also got a veterans discount. Sure did. So like I said, this is an investment on the farm. We've had goats for 11 years now. And I mean, obviously, if you just have 2 or 12, then it's manageable. But when you start getting higher in the numbers, this really just seems to be a smart investment for our animals to move quicker. We can do it more often, and it just makes farming a lot easier. And also, like I said, check out Sandy Brock. She's got an awesome YouTube channel. You will see her time and time again using this with her sheep. I believe she has another one that she also uses. It was an older one, and she got this one. I did call and try to work with a company out of either Texas or New Mexico, and their price was very good, but the shipping was $1,200. So see, we got free shipping. So that was nice. And I just have to say again, I hope they do great. They seem to be nice people, but the customer service with Lakeland is some of the best I've seen. That's been my experience. Check it out. When we start working with this, which will hopefully be soon, we're going to have to get the tractor out to move it and set it up, at least get it out of here. We just haven't had a chance to do that yet because, well, here I go complaining again about the rain. So I want to ask you guys something, and I don't know if you were watching a couple of years ago. I believe it was, maybe it was 2022? Don't quote me, but I do have it on video, and I'm so glad that we did that. So I am preparing for a big farm tour, farm day, here next month, maybe towards the end, either at the end of June or sometime in July. So it could be really hot. I know, right? I'm having a farm day here at my house, at my farm, for the Cherokee Language School. We've done that before. This is what I'm talking about. We filmed it. And it was awesome. It was awesome. As you know, I've been very involved with different things with the after-school program and with the language camp during the summer. Got a little tricky during the COVID years for many different reasons, but I love supporting it. Miss Lou is an instructor there. You know, she's a fluent Cherokee language speaker and teacher. I'm just a student, okay? Just a student show. So we'll go with that. But here's the thing. So they have field trips, and they've asked again to come back to the farm. They had such a good time. I know. The kids had such a good time. They want to come back. Now, here's the deal. So the first time that they came, so I want you tell me what you think. So this big bus load of kids are going to come over and have a full farm day here, and then we are going to cook for them. We'll probably do what we did last time. We cooked hamburgers and hot dogs. We grilled out. They had the farm to themselves. They got to see all the animals. I had historic table. I had a full table with historic items on there in terms of gardening. The Three Sisters in particularly is what I'm talking about. So I still have all of that, so I'll probably set that up again, talk about the different seeds, the strategy of planting those seeds, the companion planting, how that worked, why that also would involve them with speaking the language when we do it, all of that. So I will definitely do that. We will definitely have lunch, etc., etc. Now, when they came the last time, I did have big gardens set up, and I've already told them, I said, now, if you come, I may not have gardens in. I said, I may be resting this year. And they were like, that's fine. We just love coming over, and we know you'll do they just love it. They just want to be here. So I'm trying to think of different activities. Now, you know as well as I do, pulling up potatoes out of the ground, which is what the kids got to do last time. They had the best time. That's Nuna. Nuna in Cherokee is potatoes. So they went out and they would pull, and some of these kids have never gardened before, ever. So for them to literally pull a potato plant out of the ground and there's hanging like 5 or 6 red potatoes, it blew their mind. They loved it. So so obviously that's not going to be something we get to do this year. Although we can do different things with seeds and planting. Maybe we'll have them plant something in little cups and they can take them back. Maybe give them some starts. I don't know. I also am trying to look for maybe we could do an activity. Not sure. They like to come over mainly and just tour. The kids did. They like to be able to go out there and see the eggs. Last time I brought them up and I thought I had a double yolker egg. There's footage of that. We thought it was a double yolker. So I was like, do you think it's got 2 yolks in it? And some of them kind of guessed and knew what it was. A lot of them didn't. They're young kids, right? So they were like, I don't know. So I cracked it open and opened it, and there were 2 yolks. And they were like, what? It was so cute. So I want to ask you, you know as well as I do that they likely are going to be more involved with wanting to be around the animals. So I'm trying to think of different things with that. Maybe I'll have baby bunnies by then. We'll see. Obviously, we have the Pyrenees, and so you have all the dogs are so friendly with approval that it's sort of like these Pyrenees. That's if they know you're good with people, then they're likely going to be good with people. But we've got the puppies. But I'm also thinking about what I just showed you there with the trim chute. Maybe, depending on what we can do, how we set it up, I don't know yet. Maybe we can have them trim some hooves, you know, just sort of help them out. Any of them want to do that. I like to get them physically engaged in something, not just come eat a hot dog, look at the chicken and go home. I like for them to physically participate. Now, I know the school over there is looking at adding more gardens, and I've talked to Miss Lou and to Eric, who is her nephew. They're looking to getting some silkies. So maybe, who knows? So tell me, some of you folks out there are teachers, you work with Sunday school, different things like that. And here's the thing, they're going to be all age categories. This is going to be a child anywhere from 5 to 15 years old. It's not just, 6 and 7 year olds. It's a wide variety of ages. Typically, you're looking at anywhere from 5 to 6, typically to about 14 is what we're looking at. And we're working with the school right now, the language program. They want more bicycles. So I'm about to, this weekend, I see Miss Lou this weekend, and I'm going to be donating from Appalachia's Homestead enough money to buy at least 5 to 10 bicycles. So I'm, really we want to really focus on the children as far as them being able to be physically outdoors. That's what Miss Lou wants, a whole lot of them being involved, riding bikes, having a small garden. Oh, here's a silky. Giving children not only language and history and helping them with their education, but also getting them involved in an agrarian type lifestyle as much as possible. So I want to hear from you, because I'm brainstorming right now. My focus is to get this farm cleaned up, because we need to, and get projects underway. Cleaning up the greenhouse and cleaning up the property, and just all the different, all those, what I'm talking about, those spring projects, and you're like, ooh, 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 and then it rains forever. But I am trying to brainstorm to plan ahead in case there's something I need to work on now to make that happen then, or what. So if you, like I said, you're a teacher, you've worked at a daycare, you worked in after-school programs. I mean, maybe you just homeschool a bunch of kids like I did. I'm trying to think of different involved items and things within a couple of hours that we could have the kids and maybe do different stations. I'm not sure. The backyard is awesome for that, where Chula and all of them were. Berry picking, if we've got them, would be great, because I think the blackberries are going to be early. So obviously everything is sort of in flux, but I want to hear from you. What should I do? What could we do? I mean, we can always make fry bread and do different things like that, but I want it to be more farm related, historically related, and I'm just brainstorming right now, and hopefully we'll have more of a plan here in the next week or so that we can get working on it. But tell me your thoughts. I want to know what you think. So if you came to my farm and you brought your kiddos, now can we milk anything? That would be cool. That would be cool, but mamas are not going to bust anything until probably late summer into fall. I'm thinking, y'all. I'm thinking. What would be cool? So let me know. I hope you're doing well. I just really, really appreciate y'all. A lot going on. James is on vacation for 2 weeks. So if you're like, why did Patara not put up a video? It's like, well, Patara's out here cleaning out the closet in the hallway. I'll tell you what Patara's doing. Patara's praying to the Lord, trying to be patient with cleaning out all those sock and underwear drawers. That's what Patara's doing. But we are transitioning now to more outdoor things because of the good weather. But I just wanted to remind you guys, do what works best for you and your family and your farm. Just keep your mind focused on the things that matter, which is keeping your stress low. And how you do that is staying on your path, okay? Avoiding all negativity. I know the world is nothing but that on most days now. And we have to really tear away from that, come in together, and focus on the positive. If it's too hot and humid, if you're giving your gardens a rest, every day work on something. By the time you get, at the end of the month or the end of the week or by the end of the summer, you're going to be so happy that you're much more organized. That's going to bring a calm into your life. You're going to be able to see the things that you have. You're going to be able to work better with your preps. And it just makes you feel better and more focused. But you do what works best for you. If you need to plant a garden, go do it. I am in total support of you doing that, and I encourage you to. But if you feel like you have another calling this year, then follow that. God is not going to mislead me or you. That's the focus of what I'm trying to say with this. I'm trusting what God is telling me. It may not be your calling. Yours is different. We all have a different mission. But I feel like God is telling me to focus on de-stressing. God is telling me to focus more on getting projects and things done that we've put off or the elements have put off. And it all comes back together. But anything else, like I said earlier in the video, if you're not growing your carrots to can, don't beat yourself up over it. It's very easy. All you have to do is simply go and find the source and get the job done. Well, here comes somebody. You hear it? All right, guys, appreciate you being here. Like, subscribe, and share. Tell me your thoughts and what you think in terms of the Cherokee Language School coming, and what are some fun farm activities we could do. I know you're going to have some cool stuff. I love y'all. Videos coming all this coming week. Busy, stay busy, and I'll see you guys. I love you. Mwah. Love you. I'll see you on the next video.